This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
So, regular listeners, welcome to the top 10 of the decade. You have missed about 3 hours, maybe 2 hours 45 of us talking through the rest of the list, with Becky joining us for the top 15.
16 because
16.
I have to add one in.
And patrons have got all that. You guys haven't. It's been a little bit ramshackle, but I think it's been fun. But yeah, so this is our top 10 of the decade. And my number 10 is Pavel Lukovsky's Cold War, a film which basically tells the story of a love through the decades in about 89 minutes and does it perfectly. The 4:3 black and white cinematography is marvelous. Joanna Kulig is fucking mesmerizing in what is probably the lead role, and there are revelations towards the end of the film that punched me in the fucking balls. Mark, have you seen this?
Still not seen it. I've just added it to my need to watch this shit fucking list.
Bex, I'm assuming that's a no as well.
Yeah, no.
It's a super, super special film, and I'm so fucking pleased that it not only got a nomination for like best foreign language, best cinematography, motherfucker got nominated for best director for this. It made an impression, and so it should. Cold War, hell of a film.
Number 10, Rebecca.
My number 10 is Prisoners.
Which was my number 19.
Yeah. Just really interesting representation of the lengths people will go to when they're desperate.
Yeah, also contains possibly Jake Gyllenhaal's second best performance of the decade. Yeah, fantastic movie.
Okja.
Okja would be up there.
He's good in Okja.
Yeah. Prisoners is fantastic. It gave us Denis Villeneuve as a filmmaker, and it's grown-up cinema just done really fucking well. It's one of those, they don't make movies like this anymore. Yes, they do. You just don't watch them.
Yeah.
Movies. Yeah, Prisoners, fantastic movie. Ian, what's your number 9?
What's your number 10, Mark?
Oh man, I did my number 10.
Yeah.
I'm totally fucking losing this,
You
aren't
are,
I?
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you posting?
I am a little bit, yeah.
You're kind of shit.
I was good until you joined, then you just, the fucking three of us, just Morris Twiles just fucking throw me. My number 10 is Wind River.
Oh, you fucking love that film.
I think you do love that film.
I think it's an incredible movie. There's literally a sliding door in it where we go from one time space to another, where the movie goes hyper fucking tense, and then everything else that's been in the movie, you go, I can see the reasoning behind it all.
It's misery porn.
You expect it to be uncomfortable, and then it goes another level, and you go, oh, hold on a minute, we're into, yeah, okay. People left during my screening, and I could see why they left. It doesn't warn you during the movie that what you are about to see is what you're about to see. It is unflinchingly graphic, bleak, but smart and not gratuitous in the way it does it. It is a Jeremy Renner, I don't think it's ever been better.
No.
It is a quite staggering movie that I think over time people will start to pick up on it and go, do you know what? Do you know what was a fucking great movie? I think it will end up getting its place. So Ian, what's your number 9?
I just want to say as well, Nick Baker, co-manager at my workplace, I think Wind River is extremely your shit. You'll probably be listening to this, and yeah, Wind River, Mark's right, and you'll enjoy it. My number 9 is Mission Impossible Fallout.
It comes
Comes
up.
up.
Of course it does.
What's your number 9, Becky?
My number 9 is The Skin I Live In.
Wowee! Ah, cool.
It's not so much it's not so much a twist, it's just this gradual fucking reveal throughout the movie that just you're like, no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Really? No. It's just
And then when it happens,
fan-
you go, oh, yeah, okay.
it's just a fantastic build throughout the movie. It's really well structured.
Oh,
And Antonio Banderas is brilliant in it.
It's grim, though, isn't it?
It's a bit
It's
grim.
really grim.
It is a bit grim. But I now want to rewatch it, so.
Alright, you can watch that grimness on your own. Going from one grim movie to another grim movie of an entirely different kind.
Okay.
Brawl in Cell Block 99. I would say the most visceral movie of the past decade. It is, for anybody who turns round and says, I really liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I didn't like the fact that it got so violent towards the end, I'd like to go, would you like to come and watch this film with me? It's called Brawl in Cell Block 99. It's got Vince Vaughn in it. Yes, it is a comedy.
See, I've never seen it, and I don't want to. I didn't like Dragged. So
Brawl in Cell Block 99 is unpleasantness in cinema. It is phenomenally good. It is so fucking good. It is ridiculous. But it makes sure that you hear every bone crunch in the movie. It's such a bleak movie, and I absolutely fucking adore it. Ian, you're number 8.
Spider in Spider-Verse.
Oh, nice.
Ian, we're losing you again.
The fucking... Oh, no. Can you hear me?
Just about, but you're really in and out.
Okay. I'll just on the mic. The people will be able to hear me.
I think we've got you back now.
Okay, all right. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the best comic book movie of this decade, and I don't know how anyone can argue anything. But I know that Marvel had nothing really to do with this because the MCU wasn't connected to it at all. But it was Sony just going out and saying, let's fucking do this. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are very, very suited to an animated fucking landscape, and from a producing and writing view, I think they knocked it out of the park. The sheer fucking invention of the visuals in this is mind-melting. It does, you look at Ang Lee's Hulk and like literal comic book panels. It's like, it's a comic book come to life. No, this is a comic book come to life. This feels like a film that will inspire people. Not only from having Miles Morales as the central hero and a predominantly black cast, but the fact that the visual storytelling is so fucking advanced, and it feels like what the future could be, and that's really, really exciting. There's other films coming up on my list by established directors with, playing with film as an established language. Spider-Verse feels like it's doing something else, and that's incredibly exciting. It feels like a film which is, it's not interactive, but it kind of feels like it's blending a kind of a video gamey, let's push things kind of mentality, which I can get on board with. And yeah, it is the best comic book movie ever made, or at least based on a comic book movie ever made, for me.
Fair play. Yeah. Becky, your number 8.
My number 8 is Inherent Vice.
That's weird, because my number 8 is Inherent Vice.
Do this shit.
Go on, you can say first.
No, you go first because you're better.
It's an awful lot of fucking fun. It's Paul Thomas Anderson going back to Boogie Nights, but being a little bit more fun and having a release from being so weighty with his movies and just sort of letting his characters sort of breathe a little bit. We get Josh Brolin as Bigfoot just shouting Moto Panakeku, which is just glorious.
It's got a really good atmosphere to it as well.
Yeah.
Like while you're watching it, it kind of pulls you in really well, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
Joaquin Phoenix looking at a picture and screaming. If anyone ever says, "Oh, this film feels like an acid trip" or anything like that, this film does feel like a lazy trip.
I think it's meant to though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's that
That's
perfectly.
what I mean by the atmosphere. It's got that kind of.
It's mad that it didn't do as well, but it's because people with Paul Thomas Anderson, they associate him more with There Will Be Blood, The Master, Phantom Thread, these higher brow movies, and this kind of felt a little bit side project for him, but it's dripping in film quality. Your number 7, Ian.
My number 7 is Martin Scorsese's The Irishman.
Thumbs up later.
Of course it does.
Becky, your number 7.
My number 7 is the Ethan Hawke movie First Reformed.
Yeah! Nice!
First Reformed was... What was number is it on yours, Ian?
Oh, shit. Alright, let me go down the list.
It was my 48.
I think it's so high for it.
73.
It really got inside my skin. Like, it really affected me. And just... it's just fucking fantastic. I can't really say much more than that.
Fair play. That's all you need to say.
Just that ending. Sorry, just to say that last shot. He's like, whipping himself, and then just the hug.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Again, it's that whole just kind of like we all just need to fucking remember that the people around us are the most important thing. And yes, everything that's going on in the world is on fire and it is shit. But we also need to make sure that those fucking around us, man, are...
Yeah.
I'm actually getting a bit emotional there, but fuck.
My number 7, a film that I have strong emotions about. Very strong emotions.
Yeah?
Yes. Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. What kind of emotions are those, man?
Yeah! You
Barbara
fucking love to... Oh, Mark, you fucking love to jack it. Let's fucking go.
It's just... She's possibly the most perfect woman.
Thanks.
Apart from you, of course, Ben.
Yeah.
It's... I love how the fact that you think that the title is Gone Girl for the first 45 minutes to an hour of the movie. You think it's about Ben Affleck, and then it's like, no, it's about this girl, and then you realise, you've been brought around to think that he's an arsehole, and he is an arsehole. He's a pretentious douchebag. And then you realise that she's also a piece of shit, but she's a psychotic piece of shit. So, and then you get the bit where she literally slashes someone's throat and gets herself off on his death throes, and then just wipes his blood all over her. And then you go, do you know what? This is magnificent. It is no longer, at the moment, I thought it'd been there too long, but for a long time that was the backing screen on my phone. You can tell the lovely people what my backing screen on my phone is now.
It's space.
It's Rose the Hat. Yeah. It's just magnificent. And then you get the moment of realization where he pushes her into the wall and says he's not going to go along with this bullshit, this tour, this book tour, and everything like that, and indulging her trap, and then calls her a cunt, and then she basically calls his bluff and says, you are gonna, because all of this turns you on, and me being a cunt turns you on. And he has to go, yes, yes it does. Yes, it does. One of the best performances of the decade from somebody who manages to play psychotic pretty so well.
She got nominated for Best Actress, didn't she?
She got nominated, and then some other cunt won it instead.
Zero.
No, I will not. I will stop saying it after this. Yeah.
Bex, just in the fucking spirit of the comments I had about Brie Larson earlier in the patron only section, and what Mark's just said, have there been any men that have quite had that effect on you in cinema in this decade?
No.
Yeah, it must have been.
Okay.
Also, not Jason Miller.
No, not to that extent.
Dan Stevens walking out the shower in
Dan
Guess.
Stevens, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want jacket to it.
No, but still, good movement on the
It doesn't really move, babe.
twitches.
Um,
I just realised how fucking weird a question that was for me to ask. The most attractive man on screen this decade.
I mean, Dan Stevens is up there. Hemsworth's up there. Papa Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a weird thing for Adam Driver.
I don't think you're alone in that, babe. I think a lot of people have a weird thing with Adam Driver.
That bit at the end of Rise of Skywalker where he smiles at her just before he dies, fucking kills me.
Is that because he looks a little bit like if Stewie from Family Guy grew up and was a real person?
No.
Oh, that's harsh.
He does a
Not
little bit.
ball-shaped
He
head.
does a little bit.
What about that bit in Last Jedi where he's not got a shirt on? She's like, could you put something on?
She goes, no.
See that?
The oddity of that has not been appreciated enough.
Yeah.
I know Steve made those arguments about Rise of Skywalker, but Last Jedi is such a fucking weird individual piece of that fucking jigsaw.
Yeah.
Like, it just stands alone as this just fucking oddity.
Thing is, because I watched Last Jedi just before I went to see Rise of Skywalker, and when you watch it and then you watch that, it's like, oh yeah, tonally it just wasn't right. It's a great film, and it would fit in elsewhere, but as the second to last of a 9-movie series, it's just not the right place for it.
Yeah.
Ian, what's your number 6? Taking back control.
Sorry.
Ian, what's your number 6?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, so's mine.
Well, there you go. Me too. It was my number 12.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Just a brilliant film. I really want to rewatch it again, actually, before the end of the
year
to be able to place it correctly. Just a really good story.
I mean, I think from looking at your list, it's going to be your number 1 film of the of 2019. Then
it's kind of a celebration, you know. And even with the darker elements, it's having fun with them. And at the end, it's a happy ending. And it's almost making the Manson family out to be what they were. You know, they were vicious and they did kill people, but the shit that they had at the heart of them was just what the fuck. You know, it fully goes with the Charlie doesn't really know what he's chatting about, and we're just people on a fucking ranch bollocks.
yeah,
And you know, Brad Pitt's character.
Tarantino doesn't celebrate them. He shows them as being the fucking bunch of idiots they were.
Mm.
I mean, that's it. And I mean, like, Cliff Booth is a perfect character for that, because you look at the marketing material and it is misleading, but there's that one shot of like Charlie looking at Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt kind of acknowledging him. It's like, well, shit, where's this going then? And in the additional scenes on the Blu-ray or the 4K, you see that scene and it's nothing. It's nothing.
Mm.
And yeah, with the marketing, it's like, shit, is he going to be like almost like indoctrinated or something? And it's like, no, you get that like half-hour section of the film where it's basically Cliff Booth going, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. Like, maybe I will fuck this girl if it turns out that you guys are all right. And immediately it's, no, you guys aren't all right. And then I care about Bruce Dern. My primary concern is Bruce Dern.
I love the fact that in all of that, when they're all surrounding him and there's text there and everything like that, I love the fact that he's literally stood there going, there might be like 30 of you, but you know what? I reckon I can take you all. The confidence of that man. There was a thing I read about it where somebody asked Tarantino about that, and he said the bit that you're missing out is Cliff Booth is essentially the most dangerous man on the planet.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know about him is he is the most dangerous man on the planet.
What does he do just before he leaves?
He-
Does he slash his tyres and he makes him change his tyres?
He makes that guy change tires, but he literally beats the living fuck out of him first. Yeah, and then you get the brilliance of the end of it with what's your name? It's something fucking stupid. Yeah, we'll talk about the end of the list more, I'm sure. Yeah. So I need to go to my number 6 now, don't I? Because you two, what is it? Interstellar. It's Christopher Nolan has earned the right to be given budgets like no other filmmaker outside of franchise filmmakers is ever going to be given to do whatever the fuck he wants. And he does. And he doesn't try and dumb anything down. He doesn't try and go places. It baffles me that people say his movies don't have heart. I think they do. I think his movies maybe don't connect with certain people, but that's just a connection thing. In the same way as Wes Anderson movies don't connect with me, it's a connection thing. They don't push those buttons. I don't
feel like that about Christopher Nolan movies in general, but Interstellar felt cold to me.
I completely disagree on that. I think it's probably one of his warmest movies. It's just about people not understanding how much life should mean to them.
My slight argument would just be that from a filmmaking point of view, it's a 2.5 hour film that tells a very powerful story, but I think maybe didn't need all that 2.5 hours to tell it.
I could agree that if it doesn't have you, but it absolutely had me in those 2.5 hours where I was absolutely transfixed in how beautiful it looks.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it's a bad film by any. Like, it's a strong 4.5. It's not my top 100. I want, like, it's. Maybe I need to watch it again, but it kind of felt like it was introducing a lot of concepts in the first hour, which by the end of the film, it's such a personal story that I mean, there's the stuff with like Matt Damon at the end, like the whole kind of like 5-minute thing where it's like, is he going to connect with the other ship and all that kind of stuff? And it's just like, do we necessarily need that? I think he was going 2001, but it felt like the story he wanted to tell ultimately was smaller than the scale he was playing with.
I can see that. I think it's more that the story is about him and his relationship with primarily his daughter.
Do you know what, Mark? You should also just tell me to go fuck myself because it's in your top 10 films of the decade. And
Absolutely not. And I think that what happens is, I think you're right. There's all of that middle there, and it comes back round to that, and it's almost like all of that is the noise that means nothing. And then literally you have Michael Caine's character saying, I never cracked it. It was never there. I knew I couldn't. And so all the noise was unnecessary until she goes, but I have.
That's a good argument.
But I have. So that's the unnecessariness gets brought back round.
Yeah.
By like him thinking only he could crack it. And she's like, no. It's the mother and the father and daughter thing, and it also is the arrogance of man. The arrogance of man put the pollution in the world that caused this disaster that's happened in it, and it's the arrogance of one man thinking he can save the world and not actually thinking, actually maybe if I shared this with a few people, they might be able to help.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's the it brought us here. The Morse code, it brought us here. It didn't bring Matthew McConaughey there like you thought it was. Like that's what you thought it was. You thought, oh, it brought Matthew McConaughey there because he was to do the ship. It fucking brought her there because she's the one who's going to save everything. It takes you on the wrong story. Your number 5, Ian.
My number 5 is Arrival. Film I rewatched, a month or so back, and I spoke about it on the podcast. I think I said it more eloquently there than I would now. But yeah, it's a film that is kind of speaks to me. I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it gut punched me in the cinema.
I need to rewatch it.
I think you're going to need to rewatch it. I think you were watching it in your I don't like Amy Adams phase.
No, I don't like the decisions she makes at the end. It really spoiled the whole film for me. I enjoyed it up to that point.
I think you need to rewatch it. Add it to the rewatch list. Becky,
I don't have one.
Add it to it then. Becky, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Greatest Showman. Simply for the pure joy that it brought me for quite a significant amount of time after it came out. Also, obviously, whilst watching it, the absolutely massive cultural impact that it had. I mean, it was everywhere, and they were doing outdoor screenings, and everyone just loved it. And
it was
just
organic.
Seemed like, it was organic, and it just fucking happened. And it seemed like everyone just came together to just fucking love this Hugh Jackman musical.
Yeah, it wasn't a marketing thing that won it. Yeah, there was no cynicism to it.
And at the point that it became cynical, when they released that album of celebrity singers doing the songs,
which was nowhere near as good as what is it? Yeah,
he died off.
Yeah.
You've got to let things happen.
My number 5 is The Irishman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more than that?
Which I think was Ian. That was your number.
7.
Yeah. Ian, why was it your number 7?
Because it's much like I said earlier on. It kind of feels like the culmination of a body of work. With The Wind Rises. It's a film that feels like Scorsese wasn't adolescent in what he was doing with Goodfellas and Casino, but just with the intelligence of age, can see that part of it. If another film Scorsese makes ends as perfectly as an old man asking to keep the door open because he wants the light in his room, I'd be stunned. It just like the body of work. Let's not like. I don't really want to talk about the Corman films and whatnot, but if we go from like Mean Streets to The Irishman, that is a body of work that encompasses all of like modern masculinity, and it's kind of depressing because it shows how masculinity has not necessarily changed in the last 40 years. But it ends on this moment of, the conversation that they have. You're dead now. Why don't you just fucking say? And he refuses to do so. It paints such a bullshit light on so much stuff that Scorsese has done, but not to the detriment of Scorsese or any of his actors. It's how life is. It feels like a complete work. It feels like an important work by a guy who has shit to say, is old, and can still say it in an utterly compelling way. It's a really, really special film, and I'm really glad I saw it on a cinema screen.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's Scorsese proving that he's not an old man director. He's still got as much verve and artistic eye as any filmmaker. He's still doing things that are new. He's aping back to things that he's done previously 30 years ago, but still making them innovative. He's also seems to have taken on board some of the criticisms that his movies have had about how they show the glamour and the glitz of all these things, and he's kind of going, really? That's what you got from these? Really? So the whole shot of the outro for Layla in Goodfellas, you think that's glamour? You think that's glitz? It's not. And then goes, all right, you want the bleak side of it? Brilliant. I'm going to give you the glamour. I'm going to give you the glitz. And then you're going to sit there for 40 minutes and watch all the bleakness that you said wasn't there in these movies. And then he gives you it. And it's spectacular. I'm baffled as the fact that De Niro's not getting spoken about in awards contention, because he is stunning in that movie. It is, like Ian said most of it there absolutely perfectly, but it is just, it's Scorsese showing you, and I'm going to say something really wanky, cinema. And also, as well, it's Scorsese at the same time going, oh, you know, film's dead because long-form TV's here and it's got the budgets now and everything like that, and people want to watch this. Nah, fucking bollocks. I'm going to give you a 3-hour fucking movie, because if you can sit and watch a Marvel movie for 3 hours, you can fucking come and sit and watch this for fucking 3 hours. I'm going to give you this, and when you go, oh, it should have been a mini-series. Why should it have been a mini-series? I'm just giving you 3 hours and it's perfectly fine. Don't need 4.5 hours. Don't need 5 hours. I gave you 3.5 hours and it's fine. It's exactly what it should be. It's perfect.
The Mulberry Boys, every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop fast. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever?
Putting 4 or 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, The Dark Knight has got like all the orphans, and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ian, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Barry Jenkins' If Beale Street Could Talk, which, is my film of the year for 2019. Spoiler alert. I appreciate that The Irishman is a cinematic achievement, and it's the culmination of everything that Scorsese has basically done, and I think that's huge. If Beale Street Could Talk is a film that hit me in every single fucking emotional way that it's possible for a film to hit me, and I know that's not reciprocated by you guys, and that's fine. It's a film which, in the Nicholas Britell soundtrack, just fucking floored me. In the Stephen James and Kiki, oh fuck, I've had quite a few Elvis juices, so I'm ever so sorry because it feels really disrespectful. Kiki Lane.
Yeah, Kiki Lane. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Performances are like fucking heart pounding. It starts romantic, and then it's funny, and then it's heartbreaking, and it's romantic again, and funny, and it made me laugh, it made me cry, it made me hungry, it made me sad, it made me angry. It pushed every single emotional button I think it's possible to push in a film. Barry Jenkins is an incredibly talented filmmaker. I mean, Moonlight was almost there for me here. But I really look forward to seeing what he can do with the medium in 2020, and the fact that he's making a TV series really pisses me off.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, and he'll come back to TV. To movie, sorry. It's a really special film, and I am annoyed that it didn't get the Oscar attention that it should have, quite frankly. And based on a William Baldwin novel, and I Am Not Your Negro is based on his writings, which I talked about in the Patreon section very briefly. Two men who are far smarter than I will ever be.
Becky, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Shutter Island.
Nice.
A Scorsese horror movie that pivots into a psychological thriller, and then there's that twist, obviously Mark, that twist, and it just becomes like they just try to help him, and it's just all explainable. Stop swearing at me. It's got layers.
Got layers, is it?
Yeah.
By the way, I just realised this entire time the Skype recording has been recording through my Mac instead of my microphone, so whenever I've been pressing mute, hasn't meant shit.
Yeah, no,
So I'm so sorry because I've just realised why you guys have been hearing my coughing. I am so sorry to everyone listening. I'm not going to edit out those coughs because there's been a lot of them. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't think there's been as many as you think, mate.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't think there's been as many as you think, to be honest. Okay. My number 4 is Hostiles, a movie that I came out of nowhere. It literally arrived, and it arrived just a little bit too late for awards season, so it kind of just missed the boat. If it had been out 3 weeks earlier, I genuinely believe it would have cleaned up all the awards. It is an absolute... I'm going to say something really old school here. It is a proper American classic made 2 years ago. It's staggeringly well shot. It's brilliantly acted. Its story is about the humanity of a guy who essentially has done really bad things.
Yeah.
And has to live with it. And he's done those because he's really good at the things he did. And they were considered good things, but he knows they're bad. But it just allowed him to be good at something.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it is an absolutely incredible movie. A movie that I'll be honest, a little bit scared to go back and rewatch.
I'd like to rewatch it because I don't think it clicked with me as much as it did with you.
I think when we got out of the cinema, I needed to go for a drink because I can't. I think I made you drive, didn't I?
I think so, yeah.
I couldn't. It hit me. It really hit me. Ian, you're number 3.
Just watch. I'm looking at a Guardian article of the best movies of 2019 that you haven't seen.
Yeah, I bet there's some ones where you go, I've definitely seen that.
Every single one of them, I haven't seen it.
Is that?
So it kind of, it kind of makes me wonder, should I even fucking bother anymore, to be honest, or should I just not necessarily think about what the Guardian wants me to see?
I would say that absolutely, yeah.
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with my list. But anyway, it's like the Last Black Man in San Francisco. Fair enough. I didn't get to see. Played 1 week in Cardiff, and it was a busy week. I'm sorry, and it one showing a day. So no. But let's maybe not be so passive aggressive about the best films you haven't seen.
I never bother with those fucking lists. It's all bollocks. It's just clickbaity shite. Number 3.
Anyway, number 3 is Spike Lee's Black Klansman, which is as vital and important a film as you will ever fucking see, and I'm sure is probably better than any of those films on that list. Black Klansman is powerful. It's a sledgehammer to a walnut, but it needs to be. But it's also really entertaining. It's fucking funny. It's a star-making performance from John David Washington. Adam Driver is fantastic support. It is just, I don't know, it's obviously one of the best films of the decade, and I don't know why it's not on a lot of lists. It's weird reading best film of the decade lists and not seeing Black Klansman on there, but maybe that's just me. It's entertaining, but it's also got shit to say.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it is brilliant. It is really fucking good.
It is, yeah.
It's also, I say, it's the sledgehammer to the walnut that we need right now.
Yeah.
Becky, what's my number 3?
My number 3 is Wolf of Wall Street.
It comes up. So my number 3, I give no fucking apologies at all for having this as my number 3 at all. No apologies are given in any way at all. My number 3, celebrated as my number 3 of the decade, is Hot Tub Time Machine.
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken about it many times. I will continue to speak about it many times.
We're watching it in just over a month, weren't we?
We will indeed.
Nice.
It is, for me, the perfect comedy. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I don't care if it's offensive. I don't care if people don't like it. All that makes me think is, cool, you're not fun. Yeah, you can take all the worthy, important cinema you want, and I appreciate that, and it's glorious, it's wonderful, but you will never get the simple joy of watching Hot Tub Time Machine in a hot tub whilst pissed.
It is a good time.
Yeah. Ian, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the Coen Brothers Inside Llewyn Davis. The kind of almost the perfect film for me. If I had a choice about where I lived and what period I lived in, it would be any year, winter, New York.
I'm very similar in that one out of X.
It looks so cold though.
Hi, Inside Llewyn Davis. Yes, it's cold outside. Fair enough. That means you shouldn't really be outside. You should be inside, but you're in New York. So when you're inside, you can do things like go to clubs and hear music, or have conversations with people, or go on car rides with mysterious other people who may be John Goodman, they may not be, but it's a car ride with mysterious people. It's a film that makes a star out of Oscar Isaac, even though he plays a fucking arsehole for the entire film. But he's a relatable arsehole. He's an arsehole who is looking for meaning and looking for a place in the world. And, you know, if Kerry Mulligan is going to throw him a bit his way, yeah, he'll take it. And is he not going to feel right about it? Yeah, fair enough. But he's also going to really fucking get, like, fucking guilted for it by Kerry Mulligan. And even at the end of it all, she's going to kind of like him because in the end of the day, he's kind of done the right thing in an arseholey kind of way. It's a film which is about a man going through a shit period of his life, and afterwards it's still probably going to be shit. It is a snapshot of a life that doesn't begin fully formed, it doesn't end fully formed, it's just there, but it's shot with a wonderful aesthetic. It feels like some sort of journey of character development which ends in a place which probably wouldn't be satisfactory for most, but is for me, and just contains a warmth amongst the cold which I think a lot of films could learn by. You know, you can be sour and be sweet, and not a lot of films do that these days. Marriage Story reminds me of that in a way, actually. They feel like films not born of this decade.
I absolutely need to rewatch Inside Llewellyn Davis. I think I watched it in completely the wrong frame of mind. I've added that to my what is it list, which I'll go over in a second. Becky, your number 2.
My number 2 is The Raid.
Wow.
I fucking love The Raid.
I know you fucking love The Raid.
I would watch that on a constant loop throughout my life.
I know you fucking would.
It's just fucking great.
That's fair enough. I love the fact that literally that is all I have to say about it is it's fucking great. It speaks for itself.
It's just fucking great.
It is. It literally has managed to reinvent the action movie, and it's a small little Indonesian movie.
Yeah. Fighting's brutal.
Yep. My number 2
Go on.
is The Wolf of Wall Street.
Nice.
It was your number 3, was it?
3, yeah.
Yeah. And it was your number, what was it in?
Quite far down. Sorry, but it was there.
My reason behind it being my number 2 is it's just fantastic that Scorsese, again, like The Irishman, can do something...
43!
Yeah, can do something so innovative and make a film with so much verve, excitement, and commitment, but to make it about a terrible person where, again, if you're watching it going, oh, doesn't that look fun? You should be sat next to somebody going, no, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It all is leading to him being alone, broke, and just a piece of shit. It doesn't look fun. He looks like a piece of shit. The problem is, too many people see the wrong side of it. But yeah, it is spectacular and gave us some of the great moments of what is it?
It's a very fucking funny bit.
It's so fucking funny. It is the blackest of black comedies. I am amazed that actually in my top 3 of the year, of the decade, 2 of them are comedies.
I'm amazed that in my top 5, 2 of them are Scorsese movies.
Nice.
Right, so we're up to number 1. Before we do number 1s, I'm just going to read my fucking hell list. Villainess, Colossal, The Great Beauty, Only Lovers Left Alive, It Comes at Night, Grand Piano, Clouds of Silmaria, Creed, Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, Filth, which I managed to put in, Before Midnight, The Wind Rises, Lucky, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
What's on your rewatch list?
I need to rewatch Manchester by the Sea, Under the Skin, Alex Cross, Tron Legacy, Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping, and Inside Llewellyn Davis. And my need to watch list: Cold War, The Hunt, Burning, and Columbus. Ian, your number 1 film of the decade.
It's going to come as no surprise to regular listeners. My number 1 of the decade is David Fincher's The Social Network. It's a film which was powerful then. I rewatched it a few months back, and just as powerful now, quite frankly. You know, what Zuckerberg has done since seems entirely in keeping with what Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal was here. You know, it's interesting. I mean, Zuckerberg had things to say about the portrayal of his character in The Social Network, and yet it kind of feels like he's just always taken that Rooney Mara relationship to heart. Fuck it, we're not political, and yet we allow political advertising all over the place because a girl dumped me in the late noughties or early noughties. You know, it's weird that so many human interaction can be boiled down to just a few things, and it feels like Zuckerberg is just driven on pure, I'm going to show that person that I'm not that, but in fact I'm this thing, even if this thing is worse than the thing they thought I was.
He has none of the fibre that he would like to think that he has.
That exactly. But in his code, Eisenberg network, he doesn't necessarily see what is wrong about any of the things that he's done, and you get the fact that Zuckerberg now doesn't see any wrong in any of the things that he's done, and it's 10 years later.
He as a man, Eisenberg's portrayal and Fincher's and Sorkin's version of him, he basically lacks any empathy. And he very much tried to, in the post that, tried to prove that he had empathy by showing that he was this reluctant billionaire and he didn't spend his money and he just cared about, building friendships and bits like that. And then what he's done over the past few years is prove, no, you're a billionaire genius who lacks empathy.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And this film was ahead of that. And yeah, the core kind of the growth of Facebook and the people wanting to connect with each other and the conversations they have, you know, I mean, he had it right. It was people kind of want to fuck, you know, and it's, you know, obviously that's gone to other platforms, which thankfully I don't have that much of a knowledge about because I've been in a committed relationship for an entire decade, you know, but it's like Grindr and Tinder and Snapchat and whatnot. It kind of feels like it's all there now. Like, seriously, when Lots starts getting into that shit in another 10 years, she'll probably be starting to explore those things, and it's gonna be like a different world to me. It's gonna be like 3D printing. I'm gonna want to kill myself because I don't understand 3D printing. The apps that Lottie uses in 10 years, God knows. But it's so, I mean, that's the thing. He kind of had that right with Facebook. It was the people want to connect for that reason, and then it kind of exploded from there.
Avoiding family members.
And that's the thing. But at the same time, Facebook has this such fucking global reach that it can get accused of interfering with like government process and elections. And it probably is. And that's the thing. Zuckerberg probably just looks at that and goes, but the Eisenberg portrayal of Zuckerberg is probably like, yeah, we're doing really well.
That's it. It was amazing that it was constantly referred to as that Facebook movie, and nobody expects it to. I mean, when it arrived.
That's the thing. I mean, like Sorkin literally put up a post saying, I don't have that much knowledge of Facebook. Like, I am looking for people to help on social network. You know, it's to the Army Hammer face replacement shit. You can't see those seams. The worst visual effect is the breath when they're standing outside from that
fraternity bit.
Yeah, which is stunning. It's stunning. You can't see the fucking seams. I've spoken enough, but Social Network, it's my film of the decade. It's one of the best fucking films ever made, but I don't think people will say that, but it is.
Yeah, it was my number 13. It's a staggering movie. It's a movie that has no right to be as good as it is, but then when you take the talent that is in it, you can see why it is.
Yeah, very good. That's a very good summary. Very good.
Becky, you're number 1, which will come as no surprise to anybody.
I had to, didn't I, really?
Yeah.
My number 1 favourite movie of the decade is Fallout.
Becky, would you have number 2 if we'd have let you be in the Fallout trailer?
I mean, the Fallout trailer is really fucking good.
Would it have been your number 2?
If we'd done a trailer top 10, it would have been in there. Am I saying it's the best movie of the decade?
Is it the match? Your best?
No, but it is my favourite movie of the decade for everything that I got from it. From the anticipation, from that fucking trailer with him reloading his arms, to the actual watching of it and actually not being disappointed, which was... I was concerned that I was going to be disappointed.
So was I.
I just love it, and I watch it on a weekly basis quite happily.
It was my... What number was it yours, Ian? It was quite high in yours, wasn't it?
Fallout, number 10.
So what was it that got it to be your number 10? Because it was my number...
It's a culmination of
It was my number 23.
All the
Number 9, actually.
Number 9. It's taken action cinema or American action cinema to a whole different fucking level. It's basically done from a franchise that people thought was dead.
Yeah.
It's basically taken it and gone, oh, you like the Fast and Furious movies, you like all that frantic freneticism and that, what is it? Right, what if we added a touch of fucking class to it? And that's nothing against the Fast and Furious movies. I like the Fast and Furious movies. But that's what it's done.
It has, and the way that it's done it is gone... The way that we keep people watching is to put in arcs. People have to have a reason to come back for the next one, and that's what they've done really well.
Yeah. Also, as well, I love the fact that I love the writing process of the past 2 movies. So Rogue Nation, this one, that they decide locations and they decide set pieces, and then they start writing the story around that.
I think they write the story around whatever mad shit Tom Cruise wants to learn to do.
Literally, Tom Cruise said to Chris McQuarrie, "We've never done a helicopter
I want to learn to fly
since the first one, and I want to learn how to fly a helicopter. Let's put it in." Well, you've heard about the zero gravity plane? What? We're going to put that in as well. The end scene, they found the location for it, and then wrote it. Whilst Tom Cruise doing the zero gravity plane shit in it, literally, Christopher McQuarrie was writing the ending based on that location that they had for it.
See, and the background to it is rich as well, isn't it? Like, it's got all these like crazy fucking stories. Do you realise that Tom Cruise actually broke his ankle in that bit? Do you realise that Tom Cruise actually flew that? And it's like, it just enriches it somehow.
Oh yeah, it's such high quality filmmaking. I've got that to your number 1. Yes.
What's your number 1, Mark?
I think people can guess what my number 1 is. Like people can guess your number 1, like people can guess Ian's number 1.
Are you gonna be able to get through this next section without crying?
Probably not. Yeah, my number 1 is A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked at how much A Star Is Born hit me, and how much it had a genuine effect on the way I see life. I know you can scoff what you want next.
I'm not scoffing.
You are scoffing. But yeah, it did. It had a general... It really affected me. It's one of those films where if I was having a conversation with somebody that I didn't know or anything like that, if I met like a group of friends in a bar and they had other friends, and somebody turned and we were talking at the Star Is Born, and they said, "Oh yeah, but it's..." And starting, what is it? I would struggle to not punch them in the face, and I am not a violent man. Yeah.
It is. You love a broken man.
It is, and it is. I love a broken man story. I think the music happens to be fantastic. The fact that it's performed live, the fact that it's there's so much put into it. It looks fantastic. I think Bradley Cooper writes, directs, stars in, and writes some of the music, but is still humble enough to stand back and go, no, this is her fucking movie. She's the star, and she's the fucking star in the movie. She's Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
There's that. She's fantastic in it. It's heartbreaking. It isn't afraid. As a movie, it isn't afraid to go, do you know what? We're going to show the complexities of relationships. We're going to show him being an arsehole. We're going to show all of these things, even though we know people are going to go, well, no, this is just this, or it's that, or it's that. It's going, no, do you know what? It's not. It's relationships. People in relationships say shitty fucking things to each other sometimes. And they don't mean it. You can't have everything. You can't have alcoholism and drug addiction are an illness, and then when somebody is in the throes of that illness says something and then go, nope, they're cancelled, you can't do it, why is she still with it? Because people say shitty things to each other, especially people they love, because they know they can get away with it. They know there's a forgiveness there. They know that they're not allowed to say these things. That's wrong. They know that there's going to be an understanding of these things. And that's relationship. And if you don't understand that and you can't understand it, and I'm sorry, it's because you are too immature to understand how an actual relationship works. So if you've never had a proper relationship, you might not get the complexities of the relationship. So come back and watch it in 10, 15 years' time when you have that proper relationship and see if you can get that. You should always go back and revisit movies 10 years after and see how growing up and how differently you watch it and how differently you feel.
Yeah.
You should never be afraid to go and rewatch things that you didn't like or that you really liked and see how they appear to you at a different juncture in your life. But yeah,
I will say I really liked Uncut Gems, but in 30 years' time, if I watched that, I think it would kill me.
Yeah, there's that. It's these things. There's and for hyperbole when it comes to this movie, there's a strong possibility that this might not just be my film of the decade.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There is. There's a strong possibility. It contains within it essentially a 4-minute horror movie. From where he realised...
I think we know. I think we know.
Yeah. Also, as well, I saw an interview with the guy who plays the manager, and he says that for about 6 months after the film came out, he couldn't walk around without somebody shouting, "You're an arsehole" at him. And I think that if I saw him within that 6 months, I would have done the same. Yeah.
I think you probably still would.
I probably still would. I think somebody have to hold me back. I think the guy would go, "It's okay, I understand." Yeah, so that was it. That was our films of the decade. It's been a fucking hell of a 10 years for cinema.
Hell yeah.
Worst film of the decade.
Don't know.
I can tell you.
Go on.
Jesus.
It's Keith Lemon the movie.
Well, they're Mrs. Brown's boys.
Doesn't matter. Keith Lemon was worse.
I think it might be Voodoo. It was this fucking found footage bollocks that I got paid to review. Where it started off with just like girls clubbing and Ron Jeremy's in it.
Oh God, yeah.
And then one of them gets sent to basically hell, and it's just 40 minutes of basically a fucking like a nightclub dressed up like it's hell, and then this girl being tortured in it. It was fucking awful.
I do that for the watch list.
God, fucking hell. Yeah, Ron Jeremy was in that. That was weird. It was literally like Ron Jeremy was just in that club and they spotted him and said, if we just pop you $1,000, do you mind if you just like, say a couple things and we put you in the credits. And they just gave him the cash there and then. Yeah, yeah.
I reckon if they just offered to buy his drinks that night, he'd have done it.
I mean, that and the one at the seasoning house.
Oh, God, that was a piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit. Becky, so generally, is Cats your worst movie of the decade?
It's definitely my worst movie. Well, yeah, it's my worst movie of the year.
Your worst movie of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I am enjoying how little that film is making.
You are?
Sorry. Go on.
See, I've not got enough brain space to keep bad movies in there. I just can't shuttle them out.
That's probably a better thing to do. So you're saying about how little Cats is making?
Yeah, like apparently at the very least, even if you take home entertainment revenue into account, that thing is losing at least $70 million.
Yeah, it's not even made $40 million yet.
Wow.
Oh,
have you seen the whole thing this week about them removing it from their awards contention, the studio?
Yeah.
Oh, they removed it from their page.
Yeah.
I mean, that it was even on there, the hubris of it.
Yeah. It's a tailing disaster.
It's just apparently the chairman of Universal, Donna Langley, was like really high on it. She was just like, this is going to be huge. Like, yes, let's get it in these circles. Sorry, I'm just sneezing. It's no one's business all of a sudden. Apologies. And yeah, it's been taken off all these for your consideration things, and it feels like Universal just want to fucking bury it now. Like, what if it never gets a DVD release? It's just done.
Yeah, just they go, look, we're sorry. Tom Hooper is never going to make anything again. We're done.
Do you reckon they see it? Like
no.
He pitched it as this one thing, and then
it got away from them. It was.
They will have seen it. It's just, again, it's hubris. I mean, it makes me laugh that James Corden went on radio to promote the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special and said, I haven't seen it, but I heard it's terrible.
Yeah.
How is there not a clause in contracts where it's like, for the first 4 weeks of a film you are in's release, just say nothing?
I think he's thought, do you know what? Even if it's there legally, I think if they try and sue me, I'll win. I think that's terrible.
It just like to say, it's a high-profile Radio 2 interview just before Christmas, like the Monday after it's come out, and you're saying, I've heard it's awful. I haven't seen it. I mean, again, it's kind of a disgusting... Mate, you were fucking paid enough for that.
I think he's trying to preach to the choir a little bit.
He's trying to get in front of it.
But behind the scenes, there will be some filmmakers who think, you fucking prick.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I hope. And I mean, to be fair, with his Late Show thing and the fact that it looks like Gavin and Stacey is back. I fucking hope there are some directors who are just like, that's really, really not cool. You don't do that.
Yeah.
It seems classless.
Yeah. It's the say nothing.
It is that. It's just like, just say, I haven't seen it yet, and I look forward to seeing it. You know, yeah. I want to have my own opinion. You say that.
I haven't seen it yet, but what people fail to understand is a lot of people work very hard on that movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's shit.
I mean, that's it. Jason Derulo, fair play to the motherfucker. He's like, do you know how hard it is to make a film? You know, it's like, all right, cool. That's not the best answer in the world, but at least you're not basically throwing the film under a bus.
Yeah, at least he's got the balls to go, no, do you know what? No, I'm going to defend this. I'm not going to say it's good or anything like that, but I'm going to defend it.
Yeah. Right.
We've
Right.
been recording for about 4 hours. I need to go.
Yeah, Ian needs to go. So thank you very much for listening, guys. That was our top. What do we get? 10 of the decade, or if you're a Patreon and you give us $2 a month, it was the top 100 of the decade. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Becky.
Oh, thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you. We will be back next week with reviews of Jojo Rabbit, The Gentleman, Little Women, Spies in Disguise, Playing with Fire, and Marriage Story.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
A bumper show, and then the week after that, I think it will be our end of year show.
And other things, because it kind of feels like this has probably superseded it slightly.
Yeah, you'll still get our usual worst of disappointments and surprises, but it'll probably be less top 10 chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing with Fire's good.
I don't doubt it.
There's a subplot involving My Little Pony, which I very much enjoyed.
Now I'm mildly worried about it. Yes, thank you very much for listening, guys. Speak to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.